Men don't bond like me. If you're just using your eyes of what you find physically attractive, just understand it's not that you are consciously deciding that. It's your subconscious mind that's seeing this man's dysfunction. You are seeing his toxic patterns. Before you even said hi, your mind has already seen signs of this man's toxic patterns before you've even moved forward with him. And your attraction to him is the trauma bond. It is the bond to the patterns that reflect the experience that you grew up with as a child. My goal for you today is to help you to get on track with attracting a healthy, loving, fulfilling relationship with an elite man. That's my goal. Ladies, men are biochemically wired to fall slow and hard. This has been proven by science. This has been proven statistically. Men fall harder than you. Statistically, he does. It takes a man longer to get over heartbreak than you. When a man bonds, when he truly biochemically bonds, he bonds hard for life. That's the way they were built. However, in order for a man to bond with you, to have that strong bond, ladies, you got to understand the way he's biochemically wired. And you need to understand how you are biochemically wired. He's designed to fall slow. You're designed to fall fast, biochemically. So when you meet him and you have all that chemistry, all of that attraction, that's all of your pheromones. That's your oxytocin being triggered. That's your dopamine being triggered. That's norepinephrine being triggered. And the norepinephrine causes you to literally go blind. Norepinephrine, when you meet a man and you trigger attraction, norepinephrine causes you to go blind to the red flags. And the more time you spend with him, the more you are producing oxytocin, the norepinephrine, and the dopamine. And you're literally becoming addicted. Now, you being addicted to a man who has fallen for you harder, that's okay, because that's the way you were wired. You were wired to bond to him the same way he was wired to bond to you. And then when you add in you doing a hanky-panky, then you bond even harder. That's what it's designed to do. So that if you get pregnant by this man, you're not going to want to up and be like, oh, okay, I'm done and I'm going to leave. And then now your offspring doesn't have a protector, a father, a male figure to help raise the child. That's why you were designed like that. And men were designed the way they were designed because they were designed that only the woman that is right for him, the best mating option for him, was designed to be the woman that he chooses. Hence why, and I'm not here to push any religion at all, okay? I'm saying this to make a point because the ancient texts already knew biochemically what was happening before we were able to break it down scientifically. But it said, he shall find his wife for a reason, because they were built to find their wife. There's a whole biochemical process for a man to fall in love with you. And if you don't understand that, you're going to set yourself up to get hurt. You're going to set yourself up to waste time, to waste money. Ladies, you got to understand what you really do bring to the table. And I'm talking to all of you, whether you know this or not. You bring an immense amount of value. Your power brings a lot of value to a man. And when you don't understand the level of that value, then now you offer it up in a way as if it's valueless. And when you show up that way, automatically men have been wired subconsciously that when you show up with your insecurities, with all of your not enoughness, with you not seeing that you can literally activate and amplify his whole entire world, then he automatically, subconsciously is designed to not value you either. Now, the men who are Build-A-Bears and who are immature and not really men, then they will take whatever free samples you're giving. They will use you and discard you. They might use you for longer, okay? But they're not going to see wife with you. They're not going to see long-term. They're definitely not going to see, let me invest in her. Let me make sacrifices for this woman. He's not going to do that. But the man who is biochemically attached, connected, bonded to you, he is biochemically wired to want to give you the world, to want to protect you, to want to love you. He's biochemically wired to want to do better. Biochemically wired. You're like the key to his lock. When he has that kind of woman, it triggers him to actually live longer, to make more money, to be more motivated, to be happier, to have a happier peace of mind. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on online. It's this one video and this woman's talking because she looks all scientific and she's like, actually, it's reverse inverse benefit to a woman, that a woman benefits a man, but a man doesn't really benefit a woman. A woman benefits more by staying by herself. And there has been also, they repeat, I want to say it's Paul. His last name is Paul, this researcher. They repeat his studies that this is evidence that a woman doesn't benefit from being in a relationship like a man benefits. But he admitted that his research was flawed. It was misinterpreted. It was flawed for multiple reasons. And they're actually sharing scientifically fake news, because what they're talking about are women who are in unhappy relationships. They're talking about women who are in dysfunctional relationships. If you enter into a dysfunctional, unhappy relationship, then yes, it's going to benefit him more than it benefits you. What they didn't tell you is that when you enter into a healthy relationship with a man who adores you, that you as a woman live longer, you are happier, you are more flexible, you're more creative. You too also make more money. You too also feel more satisfied. You also have higher peace of mind, is what the research shows. So my goal is, how do I get you to the happier? How do I get you to being able to attract the kind of man who is a good man, who will make you happy and add value to your world? Well, studies show that the more a woman has to worry about finances, then the more she produces cortisol. The more a woman's producing cortisol, then the more stressed out she is, the more unhappy she is in her relationship, the more she starts to lose respect for the man that she's in a relationship with. How many of you have ever been in a relationship with a man who you know was beneath you? He was financially disabled, and you started losing respect for him. Even when you didn't want to, you started losing respect for that man. He was unmotivated. He was unable to pay his bills. He wasn't even able to travel with you at your level unless you paid for it. You wasn't able to go to the kind of restaurants you wanted unless you paid for it. He wasn't even able to maintain the type of lifestyle that you could get yourself. And when you were looking at this man, after a while, no matter how good he was in the bedroom, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. He did everything else right, though. But it still got on your nerves. Did it not? Rule number 1, ladies. Stop dating broke men. Period. Point blank. Okay? Argue with your mama, not me. Because I know there's some women here that are so bothered. Like, it shouldn't be all about the money. It's not all about the money. Okay? Him having money is baseline. He needs to be a good guy. Okay? He needs to be the kind of guy that's going to love you and that he's going to treat you right. But you got to establish some boundaries and some standards, ladies. Baseline. Stop dating broke men. Unless you two are broke. If you're broke and broke is the mindset, then have at it, but you both are just going to be unhappy. Okay? Stop dating broke men. You don't have to. There are men who are successful and who have characters, values, and valor. Can we just agree that your standard now be that this man has to add value to your world or he is not to be considered? Ladies, if we all had this standard, that in order for a man to come into our world, then he needs to add value or he's not a consideration, you know what would happen? More men would do what they needed to do to get it together. They would do and figure it out on how to make more money. They would be more providers. They would evolve, okay, to be more men. All of the men who aren't providers and who are broke, they would die out, okay? Broke energy would die. And then our children would be set up to stand in abundance. If this was our standard that we set, period,